Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. My name's Alicia if you are new here. On this channel, I do lifestyle. I am a working outside of the home homeschool mom, but I also do backyard homesteading without livestock. We do a lot of traveling. We do just life in general. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's get today's topic going. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I am planning for our 7th and 9th grade new homeschool year. This is something that for the entire year I have been making sure I'm going to do the best that I absolutely can, especially since I have now a freshman in high school. This is where it kind of gets critical, especially for homeschoolers, depending on their plans and goals. It really relies on starting to add up those credits and making the transition as easy as possible. Recently, I did a video on all of our new homeschool curriculum. A lot of it I am creating myself, or I'm going with smaller creators and such. I definitely have moved on from boxed curriculum for the most part. We do have a few here and there, but I just wanted to make sure that going into these higher grades that we are excelling and making sure that we're doing all that we can. And I just felt with the brand named or boxed curriculum, it wasn't getting us there anymore. So anyway, the previous video shows you what we're going to be using through at least the first half of the year. We're excited for it. I think we're gonna definitely kick this year in the booty, which is awesome. Jumping right into our planning for the year, I'm going to show you little bits and pieces of what I have planned and how I'm organized right now. I am not done. I am still having a mess in the back, which you probably see, and but that's okay because I do have some videos coming up explaining why I will have more time to attack what I need to. All right, so homeschool planning. I'm going to start with 7th grade. Now, while this is still middle school, he has advanced quite a bit. I wanted to make sure that I am challenging him this year in his new 7th grade. So we will be definitely doing a lot more hands-on with him and making sure that it's not just all textbook, which, you know, we've done a lot of hands-on in the past as well. Definitely with art and things, but I'm actually moving forward more with science and physics and things like that. We are going to try to get as advanced as possible without jeopardizing their learning, of course, because that is not the homeschool way. That's not our homeschool way. We are here to make sure that we can speed up or slow down whenever we need to, but so far the kids have shown that they are definitely excelling and accelerating and learning and retaining. So I want to keep pushing that. So with that said, we will be having sections of the day where I partner off with them to do a one-on-one where we will do a subject together. It won't be the same subject every day. This is definitely a critical point where he's going to start transitioning into being a little bit more independent and is going to have to be responsible for doing his own work. That way we can start teaching him that there's not always going to be someone there to make sure he's doing what he needs to do. He's got to do that on his own. So that's a big jump for us this year, is we're going to start transitioning him into doing that. As far as 9th grade, this is the big one. The 9th grade freshman year of high school. It is a big transition from middle school to high school. High school is now a little bit more of the real game, in my opinion. I will be keeping track of credits, which actually I was already doing with her. In 8th grade, I was able to already start some of her credits then because she was doing like advanced biology and things like that. Things that were already in the high school level she was doing. So I was able to add those credits in, which kind of just jumpstarts her for her freshman year anyway. So a freshman year, kind of going back to the independent part, she's done really, really well. She's very disciplined on making sure she does what she needs to do. So we are going to definitely keep rolling with that. I want to make sure that this school year She definitely has those assigned assignments where she will have to do it completely on her own. I will give her maybe a due date, but it's her responsibility to make sure that she takes the quality, proper time to do that work. And if it's not completed by that date, obviously there's consequences, just like with any school or job and so on. And that's what we are training her for. Along with ninth grade, we are going to definitely be introducing some more subjects and topics. One thing I am doing with actually both of the kids this year is current events. Now, this could be a very touchy subject because our world sucks, I'm just gonna say it. And there's so much news and drama out there, but I do want the kids to know what is going on, because I do not sugarcoat my kids in homeschool. I do not shelter them. I do not, I don't keep them from what's happening. I don't feel that's healthy, especially when they get into the real world on their own. I don't want them to walk into a brick wall and just go, I didn't know any of this existed. So I don't want to prepare them for failure, if that makes any sense. So current events, we aren't going extreme. We're not going to study a topic where they're just going to spiral into like anxiety and depression like most of us do when we watch this stuff. It's basically taking the topic, making sure that we kind of understand what's going on. We kind of talk about it, put our own opinions in, our thoughts in, and things like that. But it's not going to be like, let's dwell on it or keep going on it. With that being said, we also are doing current events, not just, I'll just say the bad stuff that's happening. We will be focusing on quite a bit of good things too. What is happening in the world that someone is doing that's actually improving or helping people or our earth or whatever it might be. So I definitely don't want to come across where I'm just going to be doing news articles constantly of all the stuff that's going on in a negative way. I am definitely taking topics and kind of mixing them in so that we have something fresh and positive to go off of as well. All right, so going back to the credits for ninth grade, this I will also do a separate video on. I understand that many people at work and things have questions for me. How do I keep track of credits through homeschool? How do I apply that for college and so on? I know at least when I was homeschooled through high school, it's not as complicated as you think. It may vary between states, obviously, depending on the laws within your state. But I know here and when I was homeschooled back in Wisconsin, it's not as complicated as you may think. A lot of times now, to get into college, a lot of people are just doing trade schools, which don't require too much. They just want you to be able to learn and get your skill down and basically have a basic high school diploma, which my kids will have. So keeping track of the credits, again, it is just within your state laws. I would look those up. Usually they will have the subjects already written out on what they need to be studying and how many credits they can get per subject or elective. And that's pretty much what I'm doing for this year. I will be keeping a file just on the computer of her subjects, her grades, how many credits she will earn once she completes those subjects, and we just do that. We continue through the next 4 years with that. That being said, we also will be possibly enrolling her on some online college courses. So I have done my research, and there are some schools out there for online colleges that you can start at 16. Is something that I have already talked to her about, and she is game to go, that she's more than willing to do her high school work along with maybe picking up a course or two with online college just to get her that boost and get her ahead. All right, so really quick, I'm gonna flip the camera around in just a second. I'm gonna go show you kind of our setup behind the camera right now. This is the kids' setup for the school year. They got their totes, they got their subjects. Each of them is for them. So you'll see in a second how that works. And yeah, it's pretty much straightforward so that when we jump in, whether I choose to do a schedule yet or not for the year, I have not planned that. Last year we didn't. It was more of just get the subjects done. So if they wanted to start with math, they could. Or if the next day they wanted to start with reading, they could. I had that flexibility. So this year I might continue that, but I'm not really sure if I'm doing a schedule yet. Either way, they can turn around, they can grab their subject, it's right there, and then we can just continue on the rest of our day. But let me go ahead and show you what we got going on. All right, so right here, it's our first tote. So we have my son's stuff going on. I have all the binders set up, so anything that's just like more textbook wise will be in here. And then I got all of the binders on everything that we're gonna be doing right there. So again, it's just an easy kind of turnaround. Everything's right there. This, simple to the point. We got some markers, Kleenex, and pencils. Pretty much anything that I might need instantly throughout the day. And then again, my daughter's stuff is the same thing. All of her textbooks and things will be in here. And then her binders are over here, so she can just turn around and they're right there. All right, so pretty much in a nutshell, that's gonna be kind of how I'm planning for the school year. I'm not making this complicated by any means. I am not doing all the things like I've been trying to do in the past. Especially when they're younger, you always have that mom guilt that you're not doing enough. And I realize that with how advanced my kids are coming along with their subjects, that I'm doing just fine. So I kind of erased that mom guilt, and I've been like, you know what, we're gonna continue what we're doing, but with them being older, I definitely want to focus more on being hands-on, really getting into subjects, really understanding them, and like I said, retaining is the big portion that I want to focus on. So I think it'll be a great year, and that's all I got for you today. So I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.